Hello, everyone. We're back again. Thought you could get rid of me, but no, I keep meeting these amazing people that just bowl me over with their creativity and their talent and their personality, and even more important than that, their soul qualities, their living, loving presence. And we have one of those today, a real live Renaissance woman, Zarah Calvert from Mexico, Lo de
Mhm.
Marco, Mexico, the Riviera, what's it called up there?
Bahía de Banderas.
North of Puerto Vallarta.
Sí.
Yes. And so, Zara, I started this Substack about a year ago, and end of January, the last week of January, and you were, I think, maybe my very first or second guest, and we're completing 1 year now. So we come rolling around the end of the beginning, the one
Happy
and all.
anniversary, happy anniversary.
Yes, thank you, thank you. And Happy New Year to you. And so glad you could join us today.
Yeah, me too.
Welcome to the space. So this is a space where creative people can have a voice, and you can say pretty much anything you want. And on your website, which is I really recommend people visit, it's a very beautiful and creative website. You're described in 6 different categories. There are probably more than that even, but because I know you're an expat, also from Ontario, Canada,
Mhm.
living in Mexico most of the time, and creating an interesting life there. But we have a Hakomi therapist and a lover of life, which I really like that denomination. And you're a musician. You've recorded, performed, composed, and a Renaissance woman, combining many, many different channels and colors in your life. Am I missing something? Oh, a rebel. Yeah, I like that. Got to talk a little bit about that.
Can't forget the rebel.
We need, this is an age of revolution,
Hell
urgent
yeah.
and necessary revolution and revelry. So maybe you can guide us. So tell us a little bit about which one of those. I'm a yogi. You teach yoga also. Oh, and before I forget, and let you get a word in edgewise, there's a beautiful video on the front page of your website where you're singing one of your songs, Finisterre, and you're dancing on one of the beautiful beaches near your little town there in Mexico. It's a wonderful, wonderful piece of music, and just to witness you're singing the words, dancing, walking into the water, coming back out again.
Yeah.
It's really cool. So,
It was
also,
actually filmed in LA, but that's fine. It
oh,
was
was it really?
Malibu Beach. Yeah, it was
Oh, oh,
Malibu,
oh, even fancier.
but beautifully.
Yeah. So
Now
don't
I'm
forget.
slumming it in Mexico. This was in the Malibu days. No.
I see. Okay. So I'll put the link underneath the video.
Right. Okay.
So what's really speaking through you today on this? It's
Hmm.
still noon down there on the west coast of Mexico.
Yeah.
What do you want to share with people?
Hmm. Well, today, I mean, it's noon, my
Yeah.
time.
Yeah.
And it feels like it's already been so full and so great. It's like, I don't know, I just feel like I feel very grateful. I feel like I woke up this morning really early. I've been waking up, I don't know, like 4 or 4:30.
Mm.
Um, menopause, which is
Oh,
fine, but I'm taking advantage of it. Instead of
yeah.
raging against the machine,
Yeah.
I'm either doing my Joe Dispenza meditations, which I'm really enjoying still. This morning I listened to Morning Wake Up Message by Neville Goddard, which is sort of the precursor to what Joe Dispenza is doing now in terms of felt sense, creating our reality.
Hmm.
So I had a beautiful morning with that, and I taught a Kundalini yoga class on my porch. I had a client this morning. One client, my one client that I have.
Yeah. Okay.
And now I'm sitting here with you. And then after I get off the phone, I'm going to prepare. I'm jamming tonight at a local restaurant with 3 Argentinian really great musicians, neo soul jazz, which is the genre I'm sort of moving into and moving away from folk.
Hmm.
So I'm just like, wow, what a good day. hanging with my dog,
Yeah.
visiting
Is
you,
that,
one of my
yeah,
friends. Yeah.
yeah. So it's
So
your life is full.
it feels full. Yeah,
Mhm.
it does. It feels full. And yeah, I'm definitely in the music making mode right now.
Mhm.
Sometimes things ebb and flow, and I'll be more in teaching mode or studying mode, or right now I'm in the process of mixing my album, my EP that I
Mhm.
recorded in Bali. So
Right.
I've been listening to the mixes. I have a recording engineer, sound engineer in Mexico City who just sent me back
Mm.
one of the tracks last night. So I've been listening to that, and he's doing a really great job. It's we're almost there in terms of the mix,
Mhm. So
and
your network is your plot is thickening as you travel and continue to work with different people. So
yeah.
if you continue along this path, for example, in music or
Mhm.
healing or therapy for that matter, probably it's going to get better and better. You're going to know people hither and thither that can help you to put your act together and go on the road, so to speak.
Yeah, yeah, and I mean, I guess one of my goals is to virtually go on the road as well. I'd like to get my
Yeah,
music out there.
right.
Um,
A tour.
yeah, and also I just know that there's a lot of platforms that, I haven't really used. I have been a bit of a Luddite, and I tend to be a bit of a recluse wherever I am. I like to be offline, and I like to just have a lot of downtime and a lot of quiet time.
Well, I
I
was going
still,
to ask you, sorry, when you were sharing your gratitude for all the wonderful things you're doing
yeah.
today and these days, and you agreed that your life is full. I was just wondering, have you ever felt that your life was empty? Have you gone through periods where you felt emptiness, or is it always more or less this way?
No, it's definitely not always this way. I would say, and I don't think it's ever been empty, but I think it's been full of things maybe that I don't like so much.
Ah, okay, yeah,
Because there were days I remember, I don't know, teaching when I was in Nelson, and the day was full because I would start my day and have to start, but yeah, I have to start my little wood burning stove to warm the cabin up, and
hmm
then schlep in crummy weather, shitty weather to Salmo, BC to be abused by 16-year-olds when I was substitute teaching, till
okay,
4 o'clock,
right,
and then come home, and so
yeah,
those were full, but it was like full but depleting.
not of the right thing. Well, it's like you haven't lived in the desert, but what you're doing now is clearing out the weeds so that your garden can flourish.
Yeah, yeah, that's what it feels like. So it
Great.
feels full, but it doesn't feel like
Irritating or
it doesn't feel
over
overwhelming. Well,
over.
sometimes it can a little bit, but that's then
Part
I
of the
just then I notice it and then I step it back.
okay, part of the territory, right?
Yeah,
That's I think
yeah,
that's what life is. We're
that's life.
constantly experimenting to
Yeah,
find our boundaries, and how much can we do, how much
yeah,
feels good, and
yeah.
yeah,
So
and it's
still working at the balancing. I have not mastered it, but I'm getting better.
you're getting better. That's a good
Yeah,
feeling. Yeah.
yeah.
What's the feeling, just to be a little
Okay.
experiential for a moment? What's
Yeah.
that feeling of when you get it together, or you find the that sweet spot of regulation, or comfort, or what does that feel like?
Hmm.
Getting better.
I would just say an overall feeling of peace and equanimity.
Mm.
But it's activated. It's not like a lethargy. It's not there's no lethargy to it. There's an impulse to act and create, and
It's alive, yeah.
yeah, even if I'm in silence, there's still
hmm
mm,
hmm
that felt sense of being activated in a good way.
I interviewed a couple of days ago Ralph Bermegui, if you
Okay.
remember him. He was quite a podcaster, a broadcaster for CBC years ago, and he's a rabbi now, but he calls himself not that kind of rabbi.
Yeah.
So very
Yeah.
much a spiritual New Age, if you will. And he
Yeah.
said, we were talking about defining God, and he said, I think of God, or whatever you want to call it, as a
Mhm.
verb rather than a noun. A verb being more like what you're talking about, alive and moving and active, rather than just a fixed concept.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
So,
that feels true. Just that connection to source.
mhm.
Yeah, yeah.
Do you feel guided? I'm sure you do, but how do you understand or perceive that guidance that you have, whether it's from within or without or a combination?
I think it's a combination. I think when it's without, I often receive messages, and I interpret. I already know. We already know everything, but it's like,
Yeah.
how do I create meaning from the external world? For me, it comes from nature. So I tend to get off kilter if I am not spending enough time in nature.
Mm.
And perhaps I'll have a thought and then a dragonfly will appear or a butterfly or something,
Yeah.
just to affirm yes
It's a
or
confirmation.
no.
So when one of God's creatures
Yeah.
appears from the wild world, it's like a confirmation that you're not alone and that there's life here with you, collaborating maybe on the same
Yeah.
wavelength.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or music, I'll put on, um, music and then Spotify algorithm will choose whatever it is that I need to hear, that message that I need to hear.
Hmm.
Um,
Yeah, it's
yeah. So
interesting.
those are the
You,
outside messages, and then inside messages are often when there's dissonance for me, whether it's I'm tired or agitated, or it's like I need to step back and be like, oh, you know, what's this about? And just do some self-inquiry practices or some breath work if I'm frustrated or agitated, maybe some cooling breath work or whatever. So my body also tells me when things are not great or when things are great, and there's that
oh,
feeling of expansion and aliveness that we talked about.
yeah,
Hmm.
sounds lovely. So, as a therapist, how do you see the way that you work with a client? It's like, everyone's different, of course, and has different qualities, you might say, or skills. What would you say is your forte when it comes to coaching, counseling, therapizing with the client?
Hmm. Um, I would say, a deep presence and deep listening, always, and always tapping into loving kindness.
Mm,
And then for me, what's been coming up with my client now, with whom I'm working, is like there's a lot of humor.
mm,
Like I just noticed I mean, she's doing a lot of work. There's a lot of great work being done, and
yeah.
there's also a lot of laughter. It's like it's not so serious. It's not like Freudian lie down on the couch and tell me about your mother. It's like, you know, it can
Well,
be fun and
yeah. Life is
playful.
hilarious, really. Yeah, if we can. There's so many ways to see things, right? And if we just go 1 degree around the 360-degree circle, everything is a little bit different. And
Yeah.
one of those angles, at least, is life can be very funny if we can laugh at ourselves and say, "Oh, wow,
Yes.
look at
Yes.
that! Get a load of that."
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oops, I did it again. All of those.
yeah, right. Well, that's
Yeah.
wonderful. Laughter, music, laughter are perhaps, and love, of course. You can't
Yeah.
forget good old love. The three languages of the heart and the soul, the healing modalities that go across all boundaries
Yeah.
for you. So tell us a little bit about your recent foray to the east, to Bali, which is a kind of a paradise. I haven't been there, but I've seen films, documentaries, and so on. And your experience with putting together a new album.
Yeah, it happened very I want to say spontaneously. I mean, these songs that I've had written for, well, one song, Siren Song, I actually wrote probably 20 years ago, almost well, maybe 16 years ago, when I was in Toronto.
Uh-huh.
And then I finished writing it in Australian. It was a bluegrass song. And because there were so many Australians in Bali on vacation, I was
Yeah.
like, oh, I remember that song. And then I just sort of rejigged it and reformulated into a more R&B sound.
Mhm.
Um, And I was just there with no intention, with just exploring, meeting a friend there and doing some exploring with her. She's also a singer-songwriter. So we had an idea that we would write something together and maybe we'd go to a studio. That was sort of the seed that was planted.
Uh-huh.
And then I saw, I went to a sort of bougie hotel one night and saw this jazz trio, and they were just so great. And they, they were putting tunes. I mean, they were doing standards, but they were doing like Stevie Wonder and Shaka Khan and Prince and then like Carole King and putting Carole King's music in this sort of groovy, soulful way.
Mm.
So I stayed for both sets, I was just riveted. And then I was thinking about them a few days later. I was like, I feel like I want those guys to play with me.
Mhm.
So I just reached out to the hotel, got their, the band leader's number, and we just met for one night in the Capitol. His friend had a studio, so it's a live recording. It's not studio polished. But I'm listening to the mix, and there's beauty in the imperfection. There's like a couple of times where it's maybe a little bit out of time, or maybe I'm a little bit pitchy, but I don't care because it was just so magical. So
Yeah,
we
sometimes
recorded in three
the
homes.
gaffes lead to brilliance and improvisation and something
Yeah.
truly creative. Yeah.
Yeah, and just, I mean, they didn't know the tune. I just brought them the charts. I mean, I sent it to them before, but I don't think they listened to it that much because they're busy. They were just like, okay, we'll just show up.
Yeah.
There's something about that culture which I appreciate too, is just very in the moment.
Mm.
Also
Just
Mexico.
press the go button and see what happens.
Yeah. So, yeah, so we recorded three songs and I'm really happy. And my friend Sarah sang backup tracks and she has a beautiful voice. I mean, Stevie Wonder approached her in the Seattle airport, and I mean, his entourage, and they were like, "Where is that voice coming from?" 'Cause she was
Wow.
singing. So I'm like, "Yeah,
I
my
want to be
sister."
part of that. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, you have agreed to grace us with a song today. You have your
Yeah.
guitar handy. I'd love to hear it.
My piano. I have my
Oh,
piano.
your keyboard. Okay.
See, yeah. I think
Ah,
that frame will be good. Let's see.
yes, it looks great. Yeah, you got some palm trees or something in the background there.
Yes. So yeah, this one is Hakomi inspired
Yes.
because it's about coming home to yourself, and how we can access that sense of home
Mm,
with meditation.
okay, great.
So yeah.
Bring it on.
All right. How's the sound? Can you hear it?
Good. Yeah, yeah. Good.
Another day, another opportunity is here to discover life's a treasure. We seek, we try to find paradise, peace of mind, and when we do, it's beyond measure. If we could only see the true reality, we know for certain that we are enough. Yeah, but we let the fear hold us back from the joy that's here when we live in lack and we forget that we are love. So I open up to believe in the power of healing. Yeah, yeah, yeah. And I open up to receive all the blessings of feeling it all. When I go inside, I know I'm home. Yes, I am home. All the silence comes when I break free of the past and future fantasy. And I remember there's only here and now. I resist the urge to run away from emotion that may cause me pain, so I surrender. Yes, and I bow to all the dark that lies in me, feel allowed, just let them be. And when the light comes back, shining through. Unlock the door and break the chain. Escape from the prison, it's time for change. Time to return to what is true. Love, I open up to believe in the power of healing. Anything. When I open up to receive all the blessings of feeling it all. When I go inside, I know I'm home. Memories try to haunt me, projections try to taunt me. I'm not going there, no, no, I'm not going there, no, I'm just breathing each moment, allowing all that's present. I'm awake, alive, aware, I'm awake, alive, aware. When I open up to believe in the power of healing, anything. I open up to receive all the blessings of feeling it all. When I go inside, I know I'm home. And then if I'm playing this live, I would ask the audience to just put their hands on their heart and just say, I'm home. So it's just, I am home. Yes, I am home. Yes, I am. I am home. Oh, I know, I know, I know I'm home. I am home. Yes, I am. I am, I am home. Oh, when I go inside, I know I'm
Brava, bravissima. Ole.
home. Okay, Daphne just fell asleep.
Ah,
She's home.
you're
Daphne.
doing, your work is done.
Yeah.
Well, that was lovely. That very catchy rhythm too.
Yeah, it's hard to I mean it's hard to have the song translate on just solo because
Yeah,
it's I mean with bass and with
sure.
drums
Yeah,
and the sax and
yeah,
it's like
yeah.
it's has a lot more movement. But yes.
The voice actually wasn't as clear and loud as it could have been, so I'm not sure if people will get all the lyrics. So maybe you could mail them to me and I'll put them underneath the videos
Sure. Sure, sure.
so people can sort of read along while they're listening. It'll
Okay.
enhance their experience. Yeah.
Sounds good.
Great song, yeah. So this is one of the songs on this new EP.
Yes. Which will
All
be
right.
released on March 21st.
Uh-huh. And there's just four songs, right? That's like an EP, is
Well,
it?
three. Three on this, three on the next solstice, and then three the
Oh,
next equinox, and then three
oh,
the last.
that's a nice way to go by the turning of the seasons.
Yeah, so there'll be 12 tracks and then one bonus track.
Great.
Yeah.
Well, gracias por eso. And speaking of
Gracias.
turning of the seasons, I mean, we're definitely in midwinter here. It's
Yeah.
snowing really, really hard. I'm looking out the windows here to the west, and it's just white, white, white. White on the ground, white in the sky, and everything in between.
Yeah.
But we are changing constantly. Do you feel you might be going through some kind of a transition, or is it more of a plateau period? Both can be
Yeah.
equally valid in your
Uh,
life.
that's a good question. I feel like definitely a transition,
Hmm.
mostly hormonal. Like that's
Okay.
it's a big deal. So
Yeah.
yes, the change, but I'm approaching it not like, oh, the dreaded change of life. I'm looking at it in a really optimistic way
Right.
in terms of this feels like there's a second spring happening or like a
Ah.
blossoming. Definitely, yeah, definitely in transition, and also just feeling more settled and grounded here in Mexico now that I know what the systems are. I mean, there's a certain amount of chaos here for sure.
Real learning curve, right?
Yeah. So just now that I am knowing all the systems, and then knowing that those systems will probably change at any moment, uh,
Yeah.
yeah, there's a sort of knowing and acceptance that feels different this year, less resistance and more accepting.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Well, Sarah, talk a little bit about your one transition is in your name. And names are so
Mhm.
important because they carry that
Mhm.
sonic vibration and it's
Right.
mathematics and everything,
Yeah.
astrology even. So there's been a bit of a change and ongoing direction, right? In your first name.
Yeah. Well, I mean, my given name is Sarah,
Yeah.
so I changed the S to a Z
Hmm.
or a Z.
Yeah.
um,
Zeta, they say in
4
Spanish.
years ago. Yeah, just anyway, it came out of a women's ceremony and a ritual that I did, and a couple of people thought that my name was Zara. They were like, "Oh, I love that name," and I said, "Me too. I think I'm going to use that." And it's so funny. I mean, I lived in hippie towns my whole adult life where everyone's always changing their name, and I was always like, "That'd be
Give me a
weird.
break.
That's weird, just changing your name." And then it wasn't. And I feel like I like the idea of naming myself because I've had different ceremonies whereby I've been renamed, Kundalini Yoga, or
Yes,
on the show Ashram in India, they give you a name. And
yes.
I'm like, no, I want to choose my own name. So, and then I just took it a step further for just an artist name, just for fun and to play
Yeah.
uh, for the next album and probably the albums to come. Zarahswati, a play on the name, on the goddess, on the Hindu goddess Saraswati,
Yes.
goddess of
Music,
music and art and
wisdom.
wisdom
Mm.
and learning. So, I was like, oh, it kind of ticks all the boxes.
That's a great goddess to have as an ally or
Yeah.
mentor as you're going through the menopause, going into a different hormonal stage. But also, they say that the energy, the tremendous amount of energy that's used in the biology of the woman to
Yeah.
create an environment for life,
Yeah.
all of a sudden it's available for something else.
Yes.
So, for somebody that's on a path of spirituality, or self-awareness,
Hmm.
then that can contribute to the wisdom, uh, the sage, the aging to saging, right?
Yeah,
Or the
exactly.
crone, as it's called. It doesn't sound like a very nice word, but it actually is
Wow.
quite a distinguished
Yeah.
station in some
Yes.
cultures. The wise woman coming into your own, like authority, sovereignty,
Yes.
confidence.
Hmm.
But it's interesting though, even though you say, well, I named myself, but still, back to our conversation before about guidance from inside or outside, in a way,
Hmm.
it was sort of from your friends who mispronounced your name or thought it was Zara, and then it's like a community naming. In some religions or cultures, they have
Yeah.
that, a certain number of weeks, the community comes together and prays and meditates and gives the baby a name. So, but then you took it on and said, yeah, I like it too. And furthermore, I'm going to add a couple more syllables. And
Yeah, well, that came up. I was trying to think of an artist name or a band name. I don't know, when I was in Bali and I was swimming around one morning and I just opened my eyes and there was a boat in front of me.
uh,
They were all moored. They were anchored there,
sure,
little fishing boats, and it was
right.
Saraswati. And then I just like was like, of
Mm.
course, it should be Zarahswati. And I had just
Zarahswati.
bought a beautiful print, a beautiful painting of Saraswati
Ah, wow.
a few days prior. So
Ah,
and I looked on Spotify, nobody has it because there's already a lot of Saraswatis. Because I did think about Saraswati years ago when I was going by Sarah, but there were too many, and I was like, I don't know about that.
just with the S, you mean?
Yeah, so now
Saraswati.
I don't
Oh,
know, it just felt
Zarahswati.
right, and it's just fun. Why not?
Yeah. And your dog's name, it's at your feet, is
Zaffy.
Zafi, also with the Z.
Yeah, she's also a Z.
Yeah.
Here she is.
Does
Zaffy.
Zafi sing too?
No, she doesn't, but she loves music.
Yeah.
Whenever she comes to my gig, she's always sitting in the
Wow,
piano case
she's
or in
grown.
the.
She's big.
She's huge now, and she's a
Look at
teenager. She's not
that.
listening. She's
Hi,
being such an asshole lately,
oh yeah.
but I love her.
Hi, Zafi.
Hi, Zach.
Big eyes. Oh, so beautiful.
Yeah. Mm.
Well, Zarahswati, thank you so much.
Thank you.
We could go on, I'm sure, but we'll give people a bite-sized version, and I'll put your website underneath. Is there the link also? Well, they'll be able to see that video there.
Yep. Yeah, for
Anything
sure.
else? Any other links?
No, just I'm excited about the upcoming music, and I invite anybody who wants to, mm, be part of that journey and the recording process, and you know,
You come to Ontario in the summers usually, and
I do.
because you have family here, and will you be performing, do you think, next year
Yeah.
or this
Yeah.
coming?
Yeah, for sure I will, because I'll have this.
Okay,
Well, there'll be two EPs by the time I get back, so that's great.
great. Yeah,
Yeah, there'll
an
be
equinox
six
one.
songs. Yeah.
Yeah, all right.
So,
Okay, well, people up in this part of the world can look forward to that.
yeah.
If we haven't been taken over by the U.S., we might be the 51st state by then, or
Whatever. We'll still have fun. We'll still have a good time, and we'll
part
still
of
be making
Greenland.
music and still be
Absolutely, absolutely.
enjoying.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, as you say, as long as there's that loving presence in whatever we do, it just makes everything okay and alive.
Yes.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Namaste, Saraswati.
Namaste.
Hasta la vista.
Ciao.
Bye.